And the first part is an underground tunnel. And that's, I'd almost say it's a Grim Dawn standard at this point, where you have to go through an underground place to get to where you're actually going. Now, for most of this place, it's gonna not be that difficult. In all honesty, this dungeon is such a better dungeon than the other two. Like, I just really like this one a lot more. It's, you don't have to deal with as many traps as you do in, definitely compared to the Bastion of Chaos. And even compared to the Steps of Torment, like, you have so few just kind of BS-y things to deal with. And really, I think the only difficult thing are the Flesh Hulks. And it's not that they're difficult, they're kind of cheap difficult. I've never been a fan of the monster type. When there's one, they're not that bad. When there's one in a group, they're still not that bad. Because you kind of put a focus on them, and then they'll eventually go down. When there's like three of them together, and then you have a horde to deal with, that's when they start to get obnoxious, annoying, and detrimental to your survivability. Now, it is a little unfortunate that the two characters I've done this with so far have been this guy and my Aether Ray guy, because they're both heavily Aether-based, and this is the Ethereal Dungeon. I mean, there's other damages in there, obviously, but still, it's kind of funny that, like, this is where we are. And we'll talk about the actual port when we get in there, because I think it's a really, oh crap, I think it's a really cool dungeon. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't too bad. We actually kind of lived through it. That's good. So we go through this door, and now we are in... Well, we've been in Port Valbury proper the entire time, but, I mean, this is the actual Port Valbury. And as you can see, I got that far in my last attempt. Before I went all tanky with this guy's stats. So there's Old Town, High Town, the Flames of Valbury, and another area I didn't actually go in my first playthrough. So we're going to be going into that. Like, this is going to be the, not go ham, not the go hell or high, hell or high water, fight all the crap playthrough, but we're going to try to fight all the crap. I'm going to try to do it smart. I'm going to try to not, like, completely screw up everything and die. Mostly because I don't want to go through everything again. Oh, we are go. Wait, no. Oh, right, we get on here. It does get mazy a little bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as Bastion of Chaos is. it's a good middle ground in terms of maziness between Steps of Torment and Bastion of Chaos, because Bastion of Chaos is, well, it's just miserable. At least to me, it's always been miserable because it's so just, you know, it's it. It's just very, very obnoxious. Okay, so here's actually one of the reasons I think Bastion's obnoxious. Oh, we lost it. Okay, I had to point this out at some point during this playthrough. And I know it's going to happen eventually, but the traps in this place are not only few and far between. There's one right there. They're these like Aether, I guess they're Aether Lightning Tornadoes. And like you'd think they'd be really, really annoying. Like you think like, oh, they're gonna follow me around forever, and it's gonna be tons of damage when they hit me. Not so much. At least not for me. They're very flesh hulks in pairs. But yeah, they sort of wander. They will sometimes be annoying. But for the most part, they're not that bad, actually. And I mean, yeah, we are Aether based, but we're also Lightning based, and that helps us get through this. So yeah, the traps in Bastion of Chaos are one of my least favorite things about that dungeon. Just because there's so many of them, and they can pop up so often that they can just be really, really detrimental to your health. Oh hey, there's Thelon. So Thelon can show up pretty much like the other things that Anasteria sends you after. Because you have to go after the one Chthonic guy, and he can show up in pretty much, any place in the Bastion. Usually it's past the Room of Death that you're forced to go through in that area. Oh, that's another reason I don't like it. And of course there's that mob in Steps of Torment she sends you after, that can be in like the lowest level or the second to lowest level. So he can be in Old Town or High Town. He was in High Town in the Aether Ray playthrough. Looks like he's in Old Town in this one. We just have to get around there. Now I will say this. There are a lot of narrow corridors in this place. That's actually kind of good and kind of helpful for most builds I have. And just most builds in general. So yeah, you do have to deal with Flesh Hulks, but luckily... Oh yeah, another double. Oh, I'm stuck on something, god damn it. Okay. Yeah, so long as we can get away and like kite and put our traps down, we'll be mostly fine against these. As long as we can move. That's the disadvantage of tight corridors, is you can't run around as much. The advantage is you can just funnel enemies right into whatever death traps you have. Which is what we kind of got going on here. So let's see. Okay, I want to take this thing down first. So you have these watchers in this place. And they're the bosses. I kind of don't want to fight... I kind of don't want to fight Thelon and a Watcher at the same time. Thelon's actually kind of tricky to fight. And I kind of want to try to kite this guy through a door or something. Just not on the damage ground either, which apparently is where we're going to do the fighting. Okay. And obviously you have all your friends, you have your Alara Starfires, you have your all the other Possessed Archmages. No Locksmere. I don't think Locksmere will show up in here. So these guys fight exactly like the, what is it, Captain Lucius in Fort Icon's Armory. They have all the same moves. They have their Devastation. They have their, spray move. They have a, like that thing where they chunk a bunch of blasts at you. Come on, do it. That thing. Where they chunk a bunch of projectiles at you and, like... That was a paranoia potion. They chunk a bunch of, like, bombs at you. And, ooh, tainted brain matter. Yum yum. And they all have a monster infrequent associated with them. It's a belt. Every time. Okay, so Thelon here. Thelon has a bunch of the Possessed Archmage abilities. He has a Devastation which will fall in the same area over and over again. It's kind of like the way the old Devastation worked. Or no, it was like maybe the middle ground Devastation worked. He has that, like, missile fan, and he has a kind of, like, Kalidor's Tempest that is... We don't want to stand in that. He has a Kalidor's Tempest that acts kind of like what Locksmere does. If it hits you, it'll drain your energy by a huge amount. He is also being far less aggressive than he was my first time through. See, you saw we got a little energy burn going in on us. Because he also does have a Shadow Strike ability. Yeah, see? He likes to Shadow Strike and then do his Kalidor's Tempest right on top of you. And it's actually not as bad as it was with my Aether guy. I think because this guy's not energy dependent at all. Yeah, like he hit us there, but it's not that bad, and we'll be able to just keep moving around and let our energy regen. We can even pop our energy potions. Not bad. Yeah, his Devastation is a stun associated with it. Yeah, we just need to not be hit by his Tempest. Oh, there it was. Okay, we didn't lose our buffs because of it. It's not a nullification. Just to get that out there. It's not a nullification. But you'll have that kind of effect happening if you get nailed by it enough times. Okay, so we're going to go exploring up and left. Because I believe there is a room of death up here that we're going to have to go attempt. A challenge room. It'll be it'll be interesting to do that. I'm mostly coming down here to get the head because in this playthrough, yeah, I want to have, the boss done and actually show off, Eldritch, show off all the other things in here. Though we're pretty much seeing what this place is. I mean, it's not hard to figure out what's going to be in an ethereal roguelike dungeon. Now, oddly enough, the heroic Flesh Hulks don't bother me as much. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're heroes and I anticipate fighting them in a certain way. But yeah, like, they just seem to go down not difficultly. Like, just with... See, it's like, that Flesh Hulk was a hero, but at the same time he was very, very not difficult. Oh, right. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we gotta go through here, I think. So there is a whole stack of lore in this area. It's journals. Okay, that's 3 Flesh Hulks. That's a little much. We're gonna run. Yeah. It's like, we gonna run, Meteor Druid? Oh, there's a hero in here somewhere. Excuse me. I have to concentrate on the Flesh Hulk fight. Okay. Oh yeah. Ghost and Reborn. This is also kind of a good... Like, it's a good farming place, too. You pull a lot of swag out of here. I mean, I guess you pull a lot of swag out of all the roguelikes, but it feels like this one, for the amount of effort you put into it, compared to Bastion and even Steps, like... It just feels like you get a lot. Now, this place, this is where it's a little... Okay, we got to come down here and then around. Excuse me again. I don't know why my throat's all gummy now. So let's see. And I hope the microphone, like... I hope things just sound good. I'm going to try to get this thing set up to the point where I won't have to rely so much on... like post-processing audio, though obviously that's going to happen no matter what. I'm just hoping it just sounds good. Does he get toable? He's got to be. Like, you got to be able to get to that guy. It's probably like going around the house or something. Now, actually we have to go over here for one quick sec, because I think there might be a treasure chest over there. Because... Oh, it might be up here. Because in my first video of this place, I actually do walk right by a fairly large treasure chest. There it is. Yeah, that's not as bad as walking by an exalted chest, which there is footage of, probably in this playthrough. I think it is actually in this playthrough, of me walking by an entire exalted chest, just right out in the open after I kill a huge chunk of mobs. It is actually in the... It is actually in the bug lair. So here's Flames of Valbury. This is, I believe, a challenge area. Yeah, so we're locked off. Now, I don't think this is damage ground. Could be wrong on that, though. No, we're not taking constant damage. So no, this isn't damage ground. We just have like waves of ethereals are probably what we got to deal with. Oh, there's some... Oh, there. Yeah, exactly. Flames of Valbury. I get it now. It's making sense to me. Yeah, for some reason my devastation is not making the devastation sound effect. Hey, it's Aetherblaze. Isn't he adorable? Or she? Can't really tell at this distance. I think so long as we're able to move around, we'll be safe. We don't want to obviously stand in the fires. Yeah, I also don't know, like, how much clicking is going to be audible on this new microphone, because I do have my mouse on the table. Basically, it's like basically next. Whoa, that was a misfire, Trojan Sky Shards. Jeez, another round. Okay. So yeah, I am clicking quite heavily for this. Hooray, we did it! Okay. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. There's a corrupted reliquary in here. And we got an achievement for it. Nice. Yeah, I do think, compared to the Room of Death, compared to, what is the Fields of Strife, I think it is, in Bastion, that was actually pretty manageable. Fields of Strife is like, I wish I could skip it every time I have to go in the Bastion of Chaos.